Right, spotted a little project on YouTube done by a chap called Lidmotor, which basically uses a couple of these coils of twist ties, as they're called, things for normally use and twist things together, like sealing plastic bags. These are garden ones for tying up plants. Got these from a pound shop, 3 coils. It says 20 meters approximately. I don't know if that's 20 meters on each coil or 20 meters in total. But you'll see what the project is as it goes along. I'll put a link to the original YouTube video by Lidmotor so you see what it really is. But we'll see how we get on. This needs a couple of these, one transistor, one of those 2222s or 2N2222s, and a couple of capacitors, a resistor, a variable resistor, and a couple of LEDs, and a very low power source. In fact, what I'm going to try and demonstrate, I've got a couple of batteries here, nice simple meter. I'll pop one in there. Might have to do a close-up, but needle's gone right across there to good, so that's my good battery, and this is the one I'm going to use, which hopefully you can see it's still in the red. I could have used a meter and actually told you exactly what it is, but as you can see, this is good enough. You can see this one's pretty well dead. The meter's actually dropping away as I talk there, going down to nothing. So the idea is I should be able to use this dead battery to light a couple of LEDs. See how we get on. And this is the circuit I'm going to build. Again, I'll put the link to the original video. I've just copied this off the screen. And what I intend to try and do is use bits that I've salvaged from actually a music centre is most of the bits here. I've got a couple of LEDs there on a little board, so they ought to do. I've got a few capacitors on here. I'm not sure if any of them are suitable. We're looking for a 0.1 microfarad and 100 microfarad. That one's one of these sorts. We also need a 1 meg variable resistor. Now, I've got a variable resistor here. I've got no idea what it is, but I shall desolder that in a minute and see if I can use some of these bits and pieces. I did spot earlier that that capacitor there is 100 microfarad, so I shall get that fella off. That'll be one of the items. As I say, I've got 2 LEDs, so I should be able to use them. So I've got a bit of desoldering to do first. I shan't bore you letting you watch that. Right, salvaged me bits, stuck them together as per Lidmotor's diagram. I had to make a few changes because I couldn't get all the bits I wanted when I salvaged bits and pieces. These little capacitors, I really have no idea how to read what value they are, so I salvaged a few. I've stuck them at the front there so I can actually pull them out and swap them. It actually works with the one that I've got in there. Salvaged a variable resistor, variable resistor, but that's only a 33k one. The original diagram asked for a 1 meg. The resistor there, none of the resistors I salvaged got long enough legs to use on this breadboard, so I put one of my own in there. There's a transistor in there, an 2N2222. That's one of my own, that's not a salvaged one. The capacitor's a 100 microfarad, that one's salvaged. 3 green LEDs, I'll explain why I've got one sticking up on a extra long legs there in a minute. and the coils as per Lidmotor's diagram. Now what I was hoping was I'd be able to use a completely dead battery to run this, so this is where I've failed. It doesn't run with a completely dead battery. If I put an ordinary 1.5 in there, hopefully you'll see my LEDs are alight. Let's move it closer. Now you can see all my LEDs are alight. So partial success. I'm not running off a dead battery. That one does seem to be completely dead. It's actually doing absolutely nothing on there now, so maybe I've let it go too far before I've tried it. But what I did want to show, if I pull this LED out, put it on a 3-volt battery and it works. But if I try and put it across my 1.5-volt battery, you'll see my LEDs are still alight down here, but I'm getting nothing on here. And just in case you think I'm sticking it the wrong way round, yeah, it makes no difference. That LED will not run off of 1.5 volts. And yet I've put it the right way round on here, and we're running. So it works, 1.5 volt battery, using these twist tie coils bought 3 for £1 in the Poundland. Done nothing to them. Well, actually I've run a bit of tape around them just to stop them going loose inside, because there was cardboard in the middle, but I've taken the cardboard out so you can actually see that you can see straight through. There's nothing in there. So that's exactly as they were packaged on the original bit of cardboard. One's turning one way because they're back to back. One goes one way, one goes the other way, and all that's happening is as the capacitor's charging up, there's current flowing. That switches the transistor on when there's enough voltage. That discharges the coils so they drop back the other way, and because it's charging and discharging, there's enough current and voltage being generated to run the LEDs. I didn't explain that as clearly as Lidmotor does in his video, so I will put links on my video summary so that you can actually get to his video and see how it's done properly. But I'm happy. 1.5 volts is running my LEDs. Disappointed I couldn't use my completely dead battery, but that's probably because I haven't got all the resistors and capacitors quite right as per original diagram. And there we go.